It is time to lawyer up with attorney Will McKinley, who practices law for the Menn Law Firm out of Appleton. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Now, is this the real Will McKinley or the AI-generated Will McKinley?
I don't think the AI Will McKinley would tell us or would even ask that question.
Or would it?
This is the real Will McKinley.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't know.
I know.
I would like to try an AI-generated lawyer up just to see what it would do. We should do that. Let's put that in the...
Oh, I'm all about
Put that
doing
on the whiteboard of ideas. Let's do that.
Yeah, I'm all about
I think
doing
we can do that. I don't know how that works. Is that like you just go to the chat GPT and say, do lawyer up? Or I don't know how that works.
I tried to get it to pretend to be Z one time, but it couldn't understand that we weren't a music station, so it kept trying to say that Imagine Dragons was coming up next.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it
doesn't work.
It's wobbly.
Okay. Well, this segment is generally wobbly, so it might be very fitting for AI.
We'll play around with it. Who knows?
And I frequently give bad or incorrect legal advice, so it would just be right on par with anything AI in law. So it's good. But
all right.
No, this is the real Will McKinley. That's tough.
First story on the docket this morning from scripsnews.com. The headline: Kansas couple allegedly hid a dead relative to collect his retirement.
Nice, right?
And I'm guessing you're not supposed to do this?
You're not supposed to do that. My question for you, I want to start this off. I always like to, take a wager. Now, how much would it be worth to you? How much would you need to pocket in order to live with a dead body for 6 years? What's got to be the cash payout for that?
It's a bad smell.
Yeah, but eventually it goes away. The smell's only what?
Eventually it goes away? Not if it's in the walls.
Oh, that's true.
That's true. It'll embed deep.
What about
thick
air fresheners?
No, you need...
Like in Seven.
You need professionals to come in.
Okay, well, let's factor that in mind. What would be the cash payout that you would say, I'll live with a dead body for 6 years?
For 6 years?
Yeah.
$6 million?
$6 million?
Million a year?
It's got to be multiple million.
Yeah, well, for this Kansas couple, $215,000.
Not enough.
$215,000.
Absolutely not.
Was the magic number. Authorities say a gentleman named Mike Carroll. He died in 2016 at the age of 81, but police did not discover his body until 2022 after his son-in-law, Kirk, called police to report his death outside in a Kansas City suburb. Now, prosecutors say Lynn Ritter and Kirk Ritter, again, these would be the niece and nephew of Mike, they're both 61. They continued depositing and spending from Carroll's bank account, even while his body became mummified on the bed in the house.
Oh,
yeah.
That's freaky.
Yes, exactly.
On the same floor everybody else is living in?
I think so.
Extremely disgusting.
I mean, it might have been a split level, so there might have been that, but no, yeah. Again, for $215,000, I'm thinking I'd probably do it for $1 million.
They didn't even try to move it to the basement and kind of keep it out of the way?
Just in the bed the whole time, the same bed he died in.
Right.
Buy a chest freezer and
They call it rest in peace for a reason. You don't disturb the rest. Family members told the Kansas City Star that the Ritters would repeatedly give them excuses as to why Carroll would never take a phone call or visit, while leading them to believe that Carroll was still alive. Now, the couple is due to appear in federal court to face charges on February 2nd. Ultimately, they said that they continued cashing his pension that he was receiving and his Social Security payments that he received over the 6 years, which again totaled around $200,000.
$216,000.
Correct.
The thing I want to know is how long could they possibly have thought that they were going to get away with this?
Well, he was 81, right? So, I mean, at a certain point, and that's probably why they turned him in. I mean, what I don't get is, okay, at a certain point, the jig is up because he's mummified. So clearly he didn't just die.
Right.
I mean, they could have put him in the freezer and tried to preserve him and then just thaw him out and say, oh, he's dead. We found him here. We didn't know what happened. Or set the house on fire, burn it down, and then cover it up. See, these are the helpful tips that you get on Lawyer Up with AI Will, right? I mean,
commit another felony on top of what you've already done.
I don't know. This was not well planned. This was not going to end well for them.
No, regardless. But it also worked for 6 years.
Right. Now, had they not stolen the money, really not a whole lot. I mean, that's like a misdemeanor. Basically, you're desecrating a corpse. I mean, that happens with relative frequency. People die and they just let grandma kind of rest in place in the bedroom and they don't report it, and they find out a couple years later, and it's, again, just a little criminal, no big deal type thing. But this, you can't steal from dead guy.
No.
Can't steal from dead guy. So
next story on the docket from the New York Post. Headline: ex-nude art performer sues MoMA after staff turned a blind eye, allowed patrons to fondle his privates on multiple occasions. Of course, there's a lawsuit.
Right. This is a spicy art exhibit, apparently. So have any of you guys ever been to an art museum where there was nakedness?
Like artistic nakedness, yes, but like
not like
physical
people,
nakedness.
not like patron nakedness, no.
Not intentionally.
Or docent
no.
nakedness.
Right.
No.
But you've been to, and I'm saying like live nakedness, not like, the painting with
then no. Live, real nudity?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, apparently we got to go to the Museum of Modern Art in New York more frequently, because apparently this happens a lot. So a guy named John Bonafede, he has filed a lawsuit in Manhattan. He claims that his genitals were fondled by 5 different men on 7 different occasions at an exhibit that he was participating in. It's called Marina Abramovich, The Artist is Present. Okay?
Oh.
So Bonafede was working as a re-performer, which means that he was recreating some of Abramovich's previous works for a special exhibit. His job was to stand completely still for 75 minutes and stare forward at a woman staring back at him in a similar pose in a work entitled, I don't even know how to say this, Imponderabilia. Imponderabilia.
Sure.
That's the name of the work. Everyone knows it, of course. So as part of the exhibit, attendees were encouraged to squeeze between the 2 performers to enter into the next gallery. So, art galleries, they're like, they have rooms, and then they kind of have, doorways or portals to get from one room to the next. So these 2 performers are standing naked.
Yeah.
Their backs up against, like, the frame of the doorway, and there's about 2 foot of space for patrons to have to slide, like, turn to the side and slide through.
You have to go that way.
Well, I'm assuming there's another way to get into the room.
But it is
the most logical choice for ingress and egress to and from these two adjoining
Well, you almost can't
studios.
not fondle someone in a situation
Well, that's
like
right.
this,
So you
right?
look at the photo, and at first you think, oh, wow, but it's a tight squeeze.
You can text the word nude to 79489. We'll send a picture of the human art installation
That's good. I like that.
to your phone. Text nude to 79489. You can see what we're talking about specifically when a patron is trying to get in between these nude pieces of art.
Yeah, don't text genitals.
No, that's not the word.
That's not the word.
Nude
Not genitals.
to 79489.
Okay. So yeah, it's a tight fit. So this guy says that, on 7 different occasions, he was fondled in eerily similar ways by older men. So not the ladies, the men. In each case, the man would turn sideways to face Bonafede. They drop their hand and then fondle or grope him, lingering for a moment before moving on into the next room, the next gallery room. So now he says that this took place in direct view of MoMA security guards, and that there was basically one of these was caught on camera. And finally, one of the patrons was removed. So totally got caught and got busted.
Well, this guy alleges that one of the patrons made 3 trips around and groped him every time.
He just likes good art. He's just got good taste.
He's a real
right?
appreciator.
That's exactly right. Now, he claims he did not report the first assault to museum staff because he felt the museum had adopted a tough it out attitude to deal with anything unexpected. And in support of this, he claims that a performer was fired on the exhibit's first day for not staying completely still and suggested to Bonafide that he keep quiet to prevent the same thing from happening to him. So it's a no-nonsense setting. Like, if you're there, you're standing naked for 75 minutes, you don't move, you don't blink, and if someone grabs your junk, you don't wince. You're just along for the ride. That's what he's saying. Is the proposition of MoMA. So yeah, the lawsuit maintains that he was acculturated, a word I have never heard of before, was acculturated into a MoMA-sanctioned communal belief system in which re-performers were expected to submit silently and unwaveringly to whatever conduct attendee performers might choose to engage in, including repeated acts of sexual assault. Now, the museum acknowledged it was having a problem with people groping its models. This apparently they recognize that this is an issue.
Yeah, eventually they said, yeah, okay, we know this is
and
happening.
they have systems in place to try to flag, the artist isn't all of a sudden like waving their hands, right, whatever, but to try to be discreet to alert security to
gave some sort of a signal. Right. Security will come over and then escort the patron.
So they are aware that people are touching the nude models that they're asking you to squeeze within a 4-inch gap between?
Right. Shockingly, that would occur.
I'm glad they're aware of that.
They are aware of that.
So does this guy have a good chance at winning a lawsuit?
Yeah,
like this?
I mean, obviously, against anyone who assaulted him, certainly, that would be the case. It's a little more complicated I'm just not going to say it's complicated with respect to the employer, because obviously the employer has a duty to maintain a safe workplace and everything. But what's interesting here is these are kind of intentional acts. So it's a little more complicated than just I slipped and fell and I injured myself.
Right.
So I think he's got a claim. Now, again, he signed up for this. You're standing naked. He clearly knew the proximity he would be within. That doesn't justify it, doesn't excuse it. But, this is art.
Well, he may
art can sometimes be dirty, maybe. I don't know.
He may have had an understanding that, okay, they could brush against you, but not deliberately grab you and grope you.
What I don't understand is what was the necessity to put these two in the doorway in such close proximity to patrons?
Yeah.
Why not have them?
Is it part of the exercise to see how people react?
Right. Well, that's because you have interactive art. Now,
who knows?
I'm more of a Norman Rockwell kind of guy, but, there are people who enjoy that sort of avant-garde experience.
Do you remember the last time you heard the name Marina Abramovich?
I have never heard that name.
Remember spirit cooking?
I don't
From the
remember.
2016 presidential campaign?
What? Spirit cooking?
Yeah. They said that the elites were partaking in these weird feeding rituals, but really it was just one of her art pieces.
I've never heard of that.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I don't
you don't remember that one?
You call it spirit cooking?
Spirit cooking, yeah,
Oh,
because apparently Hillary Clinton had attended a big show of this woman's where they did this thing where they were eating jelly off of a nude model.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This woman likes to put nude people in very odd situations. That just kind of appears to be her form of art.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Right. I could easily put naked people in very awkward positions.
It'd be easy.
Nobody would call it art. They just call me a
call
pervert,
the
but
police.
That's okay. Right.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Interesting dynamic.
All right.
For sure.
Our thanks to the Menn Law Firm for loaning Will to us this morning. You can find out more about Will's practice by going to mennlaw.com. Men with 2 N's, mennlaw.com. Thank you, sir.
A good day to everyone.